Hello traders, welcome to lesson 2 of trading from your phone. This lesson is this series of lessons just to show you don't need fancy equipment to start learning how to trade. This is for beginners, and lesson 2 today we'll be covering support and resistance, how to draw it, and what is the dynamic support and resistance. On the first lesson we did already cover the types of movement that the market can give you, the sideways, consolidation, and uptrend and a downtrend. Today, like I said already, gonna check at support, resistance, and how to draw two of them, and then how to see what is dynamic support and resistance. So without wasting too much time, let's just get into it. Already on this chart, this is a daily chart. If you can remember from the very first video that I showed you guys what is time frames and all that, you can check that video on the previous, it's the very first video on the channel, so you can check that to see when I say the daily chart, what am I talking about. So I already identified an area here. I marked it in yellow. Down here I already marked it in yellow, so that is to show you what is the consolidation from the previous video. So in the consolidation, it is very easy for any trader, even the new trader like you, to identify a support and resistance. This is why I highlighted it, because it's easy for you to see it and it is easy for you to draw it. So basically, the support is your floor. It's your floor. It's when the market hit the same area multiple times. It's the floor here. When it keeps hitting it without breaking it, we say that is your support. It supports something, okay? And then the resistance, it's gonna be at the top, whereby the market cannot break through a certain area or a certain price. That area right there, we identify that as resistance. Your resistance, take that R for the roof, and then the other one, which is the support, take it as a floor. That's how I remember it, and in this market condition, it is very easy to identify because the market is moving sideways. So it's easy for you to identify what is a support, what is a resistance, and it's easy for you also to mark those areas. Okay, so in this case, I'm just going to mark them so that you can see with my horizontal lines here. So here at the bottom, we'll put that as a support, okay, because again, the market is moving, is hitting the same area multiple times. So this is going to be your support, okay? And then here at the top is where the market is doing, is hitting the same price again from the bottom, trying to go up, but it cannot break. In that area, we call it the resistance. It's your roof. It's the roof because the market it cannot break that area. So this is going to be your resistance, okay? It's easy like that to identify what is a support and what is a resistance, especially when the market is doing this, is moving sideways, okay? But now things tend to be complicated when the market starts to move in a trending conditions. For example, when the market starts to do this, then things start to get a little bit wonky and complicated. But if you're not, I'm here, I'm just going to show you exactly what do I mean and what to do and what is a support and what is a resistance in those areas. So we see the market will move, for example, the market will move and find a support right here, because when the market comes down, hits the floor and then start to move up, we mark that as your support, okay? And then you see the market goes up, and then when it does this, it breaks, it is now below your support. And then when it starts to go up, what is it now? Your support, yes, we draw it as a support, but now when it starts to go up, it is no longer a support in this area. Here, it is still a support, but here in this area, it is a resistance for this price when it's here, okay? But before it goes before it gets here, or when it gets here, it must have turned somewhere. It turned here, and here when it turned, it gave us another support, okay? Another support, now a resistance, it breaks that support and it goes back. This support, it is now a resistance. You see, now start to be a little bit funny or trying to be a little bit weird, because now your support becomes a resistance, the resistance becomes a support. Yes, that can happen. It depends when the market is. It's not like when the market is moving sideways. When the market is moving from your support going up, that support that you left a few days back or a few minutes ago, it is going to now become a resistance. Okay, so it is not a fixed value that you can say because I'm drawing it here as a support, it's going to be support throughout. No. It is a support because the market is coming from the top. When it's coming from the bottom, that support becomes a resistance at that particular price. So that is a support and resistance when the market is trending. When it's consolidating, it will stay a support because it keeps hitting it to the same area coming from the same direction, which is from the bottom. And then when it hits it from the top going down here, that area becomes your support. It will always be a support until maybe if it breaks it and then comes from the bottom going up, then this will become your resistance. But here it's a support, but now here at this price it's a resistance. I hope it makes sense there. Okay, so I'm going to show you the same drawings on the chart now, and how to look for it and how to trade it and how we trade it as traders. Okay, first of all, here is the condition. Here the market is going down and then we see it reverse back up. Once it does that, once it does try to reverse up, we mark that area where it reversed. We mark this area. Okay, I'm going to mark it with your Forex thing so that you can see what I mean. We mark it just like I marked it here. You get your support right here. Okay, but then the market breaks that. Once it breaks this, your support, now it is the bottom. Now when I look at this line that I drew, I'm looking at it as a potential resistance. It doesn't mean the markets don't have to come back there, but when it comes back there, I'm looking at this as a resistance. So in this area right here, this line is a resistance, and then it breaks. Remember, every time when it moves back, it leaves a support wherever it turned if it's going up. So this will be your support, and then it breaks it, coming to the bottom. So the same thing that I showed you as a zigzag as drawing, here it is again. Here you got your potential resistance because it's not been tested twice. When it comes down and then push up, there's nothing that is testing on the side. I mean on your left, that area is a potential resistance. So you can mark it or you don't have to mark it. I always mark my areas so that I can remember when the price goes there, I can anticipate what might happen, or when the price starts to act weird, I know why it's doing that. So in this case, it's coming down, gets a support, push up. In this case, you're not in the market, I assume. And then when it breaks that area, comes down here, you're looking at this area as a potential resistance. And it comes back to it, you see it reject, you say, there you go. There is your resistance, then you take a trade, it comes back down, it breaks this support. Now the support, it is a potential resistance to the right when the market keeps going. Let's see what happens when the market keeps going and take this a little bit further. So that area that we marked before, this area right here, that was your resistance. Now you're looking at it as a potential resistance again because the market is coming from the bottom. You see it breaks to the top. You saw it break, and you know now because the market is at the top is a potential support. It did support with this red candle and then continue to the upside. You see, that's how we trade support and resistance. It's easy as that. And then the very same area that was a support here, when we keep going to the right, keep going to the right, it came here, break it, comes back. When it comes back to it, you're looking at it as a potential resistance, which is something that happened here, your resistance, and then it dropped right before it fell into this condition that we say it's a consolidation right here. So that's how you check the support and resistance, and that's exactly how you trade it. Well, maybe I didn't go too deep on how to trade it, but that's how you look at it, and that's how you draw your levels as the market moves, as the market goes. When it makes a new low, you'd mark that level and then you wait. When it comes back to it and then it rejects it, you take a trade. That is support and resistance. I hope it makes sense. Now I'm gonna go to I don't want to make the video too long. I'm gonna go to what is dynamic support and resistance. The dynamic support and resistance is what most traders use as they use this moving. You see these lines that I have on my chart. That is what they use as a dynamic support and resistance. I use the support and resistance. Don't be don't be confused, because I realized in Forex most people, they call things differently. We name things differently. You name it the way it's gonna work for you. Okay, so for instance here, when the market rejects on the moving average, we say okay, it's resisting, and then it continued to the downside. And then when it breaks them, you see it broke them here, and then came back with this small wick. I'm gonna mark it now with this small wick. You see it on this red line, it marked that. You say okay, now this is a support, then continues to the upside. That is dynamic support. Dynamic just means support and resistance, but it moves with the market. Okay, I'm gonna show you one last example of support and resistance and how to draw it. You see the market here, it from down up, goes down, then goes up, goes down, goes up, goes down, goes up, goes down, goes down. You can see where the support and resistance are. Here you have a resistance, right here, resistance. Down here you have a support, broken, you have a support. Right here at the bottom you have a support, comes back, now it is a resistance here, comes down, find the same support, goes up, breaks it, goes to the top, to the other one, which is also support, comes down. Remember, now it is your support again. I mean, here is the resistance, not support. And then continue to do that. That's exactly how we trade support and resistance in the market. It's not as easy as that because there are a lot of things that goes into it, but this is how you identify your levels as you're trading. So I hope this makes sense. I hope this helps you a ton so that you can be able to identify and see what is a support and what is a resistance. Because on the next lesson, we're going to be looking at candlestick patterns and movement patterns and how to draw these patterns, on how to use these patterns that you see. Remember, everything that you learn on this lesson, it goes with what you learned on the previous lesson. So in this third lesson, I'm gonna be showing you these candlestick patterns and all these other patterns, and then how they coincide with the support and resistance and how to utilize them. In lesson 4, I'm gonna show you how to use these patterns on support and resistance in depth, and I'm gonna introduce you to Fibonacci levels. It's also some sort of support and resistance. You can use the support or resistance like that, and how to use those things combined. And then on the last lesson, hopefully I'm gonna do this in a week's time, whereby I post a video like almost every day, and then I'll show you how to use everything that we learned from lesson 4 all the way to lesson 1, how to use them together, and how to build your own method with your own time frames, and then so that you can get started. Because from here onwards, I'm gonna be diving into deeper in advanced type of trading, and I'm gonna be breaking down charts. I'm gonna be doing all those kind of things for free. So all you have to do is just subscribe, like the video, comment what is it that you want clarity on, so that I can make another video which addresses those issues specifically. So thank you very much for watching. Peace.